Okay, we're now recording, so we'll go ahead and begin our tour. Let me share my screen again with everyone. And here we go. Okay, I just want to remind everyone before I turn it over to our greeter this morning that please mute yourself. This will help with background noise as we're going through our virtual tour, and we're so glad that you could join us. And also, we would love to hear from you. So feel free to use the chat box if you want to type in a question, or feel free to say hello or happy St. Patrick's Day. And at the end, we will reserve time for Q&A where you can feel free to unmute yourself. And so we'll have that at the end of the tour. So at this time, I'll turn it over to our greeter, Lindsay Lewis.
I'm Lindsay there.
Hey everyone, welcome to the tour of South Pointe Place. I'm honored to be your greeter today. Like Tricia said, I'm Lindsay Lewis, and I am married with 3 children. You can see them right here, and I am on the Cherish the Children of God committee and also a Volunteers of America board member. So I'm so excited that I get to be here with you today. I got involved with Volunteers of America a couple years ago when my friend Sarah introduced me to Volunteers of America, and I just really love the work that the Volunteers of America does right here in our community, and you can see that happening right in front of your face with our neighbors and veterans and at-risk youth and all sorts of capacities. So I just really love that I can see this in our community. Today you'll get to see the South Pointe Place, which is such a wonderful location. I love being able to tour this myself in person. And one of my little mottos is celebrate everything. And you'll get to see how every single door celebrates everything. They have their welcome mat. They have their home at this place. So I think it's such a wonderful location for our seniors. And maybe one day we'll get to see it live and in person very soon. So once again, thank you so much for being here today. And now I'm going to turn it over to Chuck Meehan, our Volunteers of America CEO. Thanks.
No, you're okay.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you for all that you do as a mama, as a volunteer, and after having found your way to Volunteers of America, we truly appreciate your efforts related to Cherish the Children. And as Lindsay said, today is all about touring virtually. South Pointe Place, our special housing program for seniors, and you're going to get to hear from a special guest in a few minutes, and also our Adult Day Health program. So I want to get to that, but in order to put in perspective what you will see later, let me just share a little bit about Volunteers of America. March the 8th, this organization celebrated its 125th anniversary and found its way to Shreveport in the mid-30s, and we've been offering programs and services for people who need support since that time. Today, our Ministry of Service in North and Central Louisiana includes roughly 40 programs and on an annual basis serves over 6,300 men, women, and children each year. We recognize that we're a nonprofit organization, but in reality we are a business. And one of the things that does surprise some people is that we're a pretty good-sized business with nearly 350 employees and an annual budget of 17 million. And all of that helps to provide support for children and families in poverty, for people with disabilities, homeless veterans, and senior adults. And those are the 4 areas that we really concentrate on in our overall ministry of service. And of that $17 million on an annual basis, the majority of it does come from government support. But each year, when our board of directors approves our annual budget, we realize and recognize the gap between what it cost us to do all of what we do and what we receive from government. And when we approved our annual budget last June at our annual meeting for the year that started July 1 and ends June 30th, we projected a gap of $2,450,000. And that gap began to be referred to as the gap of uncertainty because of the effect of COVID in terms of reduced government reimbursement and increased cost. And as of today, as of this morning, towards that $2,450,000 gap, we've received $2,191,573. So we're pleased with that. We have a gap within that gap that remains. We're working hard to eliminate that, but we're pleased so far with where we are. One of the promises we as a business make to our investors, whether it's tax dollars through government monies or foundation grants or individual contributions, our promise to investors is a return on their investment. So we measure outcomes in every single program and service that we provide. And again, today you're going to hear more information about our housing for seniors and about our adult day health program. Now, we're going to move on and eventually get to a virtual tour of the facilities and programs, but I want to introduce Linda Jarrow, who is our Vice President of Housing, and she'll take it from here. Thank you all again for coming.
Thanks, Chuck, and thanks so much to all of you for joining our virtual tour this morning. Before we highlight South Pointe Place, we want to share just a little information about our housing programs in general. You heard Chuck talk about our target populations: seniors, veterans, the disabled, and children and families. We actually provide permanent supportive housing for most of these populations, and actually we're among the first to do this in our community. We actually started out with a transitional program for single women. So Volunteers of America Housing includes approximately 300 units of housing in North and Central Louisiana. We believe safe, decent, and affordable housing obviously is critical to living well and becoming and staying independent. You know, living at South Pointe Place is more than just living accommodations. It offers a beautiful, safe, and affordable place to live, socialization that includes bingo nights, shared dinners, plus a caring staff that is always willing to address any concerns that may come up. There are 50 apartments, 51 bedroom apartments. This property opened in July of 2015, 49 one bedroom units for very low income seniors, 62 and older, and 1 unit for maintenance staff who lives on site. Residents pay up to 30% of their adjusted income to live here. And we do provide a tremendous amount of supportive services that you'll hear about later. But for those who move in, they must be able to live independently. So now it's time to showcase all things South Pointe. As you enter the front doors, you're welcomed into this beautiful, spacious foyer, which is a comfortable setting where most days you will find residents sharing pleasantries. As you walk the halls of the 3 stories, you'll see different colors on each floor. And this was done purposefully so that seniors easily recognize their floor based on wall color. In this picture, you also see these little sitting areas that are found at the end of each hallway on each floor. Residents can enjoy coffee or afternoon tea or just their neighbor's company. Each floor has these spaces, as I said, at the end of each hallway. Walking down the halls, as you can see, how each resident makes their unit their own. Their expressions show love and humor, and these things that make life worth living. The amenities include a large community room that you see here. It's very inviting, and it's kind of the place to be when there are pie or ice cream parties or holiday celebrations. As you can see, they're already ready for Easter. The kitchen in that community room offers opportunities to cook and celebrate lunches or dinners with friends and neighbors. Just off this community room, there's a covered porch, which is another special place to enjoy coffee and conversation. You see the laundry room and the arts and crafts room that also has computers for those who do not have their own. All the joys of home. So with that, I'd like to introduce our housing staff on the call. You see here in the picture Candace Jackson, who's our newest member of property management staff. She's been with us since December and is doing a great job. She oversees housing operations at the site, and of course that includes keeping our funds coming in, assuring that we're compliant with all of our federal and state regulations, and making sure we're maintaining the units so they continue to be available to our residents beyond their useful life. Joe Ford in this picture is our maintenance staff at South Pointe. We're very fortunate to have him, not just because of his skills. He is certified in HVAC and probably much more, but because he lives on site in our apartment that's set aside for staff. And as you can imagine, it's critical to have staff available when emergencies happen. Paula Williams, who's on our call, is our service coordinator at South Pointe Place. She is so well loved at this property and at VOA, having served the agency for more than 30 years. She provides excellent service delivery to our residents and assures that they have access to community resources necessary for them to live healthy and independent lives. She recently coordinated efforts with CVS to carry out a COVID-19 vaccination clinic at the property for residents and staff. We could not do without Paula and the services she provides to the residents and to the agency. And so now it's my pleasure to turn this over to Paula, who's going to introduce our special guest speaker. Take it over, Paula.
Thank you, Linda. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to talk about service coordinator a little later, but I want to introduce you to a fantastic lady. She is one of our most colorful and entertaining and fabulous resident at South Pointe Place. I'm proud to introduce to you Miss Gertrude Trudy Dion. Take it away, Miss Dion.
Well, thank you. Like I said, Ms. Williams, she's my rock. Without her, I wouldn't be able to do nothing. But I'm glad to be here and to help you out in doing more for the company. The way I found you was I drove by there by chance, and I saw the phone number, and I called, and I got through all the other stuff, and I'm living there now. It's gonna be almost 6 years, and I love it. It's very mostly I love it because it's secure, and the people are, kind of funny most of the time, and my son is happy that I live there. And so you get pictures of my apartment. That's cool. So whatever else I can tell you, I'd be more than glad to if you ask me. Oh, my bathroom even. Oh my God. Okay, well, I keep it clean, and always that's the first thing I do when I get up. I make my bed. I hate unmade beds. So, and I cook a lot, and I'm looking forward to that room on the second floor be open again so we can cook and I can give stuff to people because I love to cook for people. Since I'm a real cook, I mean, my son and I, we had a business where I did all the cooking. And so it's just not so easy to make the people that live here accustomed to the way I cook because they all want greens and cornbread, and I don't know what that even is. So, but they're getting along. They're getting used to it slowly by slowly. So, and that's about all I can tell you. I'm glad to be here, and the only way I'm going to leave is 6 foot first. Thank you, and I love Ms. Williams. You want to ask me anything? No, it's done. It's done. Oh, boy.
No, I think you did a great job. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and thank you for letting us see inside your beautiful home, your apartment.
You did
Thank
a good
you.
job on that one.
Okay, Paula, we can talk a little bit about what you do to support the residents at South Pointe Place.
All right, thank you, Tricia. Now I've been a service coordinator for 17 years. I worked at several of the other properties before I came to South Pointe Place in 2015. Now, the service coordinator is a complex and a far-reaching role. Many elderly individuals living in assisted housing have some unmet needs and require services and assistance that the property owners or the property manager cannot identify or effectively coordinate. That's where I come in. The service coordinator helps to coordinate the provision of supportive services to help all residents to continue to age in place and delay or avoid the need for higher levels of care, like going into an assisted living or a nursing home. Service coordinator manage and provide access to necessary supportive services in the community. We provide case management services as needed and requested, and develop programs and resources that support wellness of the entire resident population. Now, some of the specific roles, I act as an advocate, a resource for the resident, a facilitator of wellness and other educated programs for the resident, a motivator, empowering the resident to be as independent as possible. I monitor the services that I link the residents to make sure they are satisfied with the services. Act as a champion, encouraging residents to adhere to a healthy lifestyle. An educator, provide training to the resident and to the property staff if requested. Advisor, I can assist the resident with building support networks and consult with the tenant organization and the resident management. I'm a referral agent where I connect the resident to service provider who can meet the resident unmet needs. Also, I'm a community partner. I assist the resident with accessing community-based services. Now, being a service coordinator, you get to work with a lot of just fantastic people. And I am working with Melanie, and she's in the picture there. She and her girlfriends developed a program called South Pointe Pals. Pre-COVID, they would come out to the complex and they would sponsor bowling day for the resident. But COVID, of course, changed our lives forever. And that didn't stop Melanie. Oh my God, she's just a firecracker. She and her lady friends reached out to the residents to offer them a couple of services like picking up grocery items, talking to the residents to lessen the social isolation that some of them may be feeling. And she is making a special delivery to the resident once a month up until June. As you can see on the screen, that I believe was our first special delivery, a bag of fruits and vegetables that the resident enjoyed. Last month, I had an opportunity to work with the Shreveport City Marshal Office and the Caddo Parish Sheriff Department. The City Marshal Office donated 44 cases of water and 24 cases of MREs, that's meals ready to eat. And the Calipari Sheriff Department came out and delivered it to the residents. And we, the property manager, Candace and Tara Daniels, we distribute the donated items door to door to the residents. Lastly, as Linda has mentioned, on February 1st and March the 1st, I worked with the members of the CBS COVID-19 vaccination team. They came out to South Pointe Place and vaccinated 25 residents, 11 of our staff members, and 4 adult health clients. The clinic was successful because of the assistance from the crew of the Adult Day Health Center, Cassandra, Sherry, Sharon, Jessica, and Joanne. Just all wonderful people. And I love working with them. And now we'll get to hear from Miss Yolanda. No, I'm sorry, not Miss Yolanda, Cassandra.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cassandra Brosi. I'm a program coordinator at Ballington Center Adult Health Center. We're located on the first floor of South Pointe, and the main entrance is in the back of the center, but you can also enter through the front. Prior to COVID, the center we're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30. We provide daily recreation, activities, morning devotion, exercise, 2 hot meals a day, breakfast and lunch, and a snack in the evening time. And we serve over 40 with 40 clients, some with disabilities and some without disability. And they come for socialization. But as of right now, you're going to see a quick slide of the health center.
So my whole life is connected with Volunteers of America. The Ballington Center has just been excellent to me.
We provide daycare services for those that are seniors and have disabilities in our neighborhood. We provide activities, games, field trips. They get to come here and be with their friends.
I don't even like weekends when I don't get to go to Volunteers of America. That's my family down there.
As you can see, unfortunately, we're not able to serve our clients at the center due to COVID, but we're still serving our clients through telecommunication and home visit. We also take them to the store or take them to get something to eat or whatever they need, whatever their needs are. And we also, like Miss Paula said, we had 4 of them that took the COVID vaccine, and we was able to transport them to and from the center so they was able to get their vaccination shot. So unfortunately, we're unable to see them on a daily basis at the center so they can do interaction and socialization. But as soon as that over with, I hope and pray we open up soon. And now I'm gonna turn it back over to Tricia.
Thank you, Cassandra. And thank you, Paula, Linda, everyone, for sharing more about the work we're doing with seniors in the community. At this time, I want to open it up for Q&A. So is there anyone, I'll just quick share my screen just for a moment. Is there anyone who has any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself or use the chat box. Okay.
Do we have any idea when people will be able to start going back into the center to help or volunteer?
That's a good question. Chuck?
You know, that's really determined by the Louisiana Department of Health and the Office of Adult and Aging Services. You know, but I'll tell you, we're really hopeful that as more and more people get the vaccine, that we'll be able to get back with face-to-face services. And I think the best guess, frankly, is probably late summer. But we're committed to helping, respecting the health and safety of all of our clients and staff. And you know, we'll rely on what the Louisiana Department of Health advises.
Hey, Tricia, I have a question. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, like Mr. Ross, I talk to him every week at South Pointe, and he was saying one day that he and someone were going to walk to Walmart to get a few things that they needed and come back. Is that something like if I were to like wear a mask, and since we're outdoors going to Walmart, could I participate in that, or am I not allowed to be, you know, like part of that? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Part of on the premises.
That's a good question, Mary Beth. Right now at this time, I mean, certainly we're evaluating it as, you know, things are getting better and more people are getting the vaccine. We're evaluating our volunteer activities. Right now, we're still at a place where we're not doing in-person volunteer activities just to protect the health and safety of everyone in our community.
Well, I just didn't want to say something and have false expectations going around. Okay, that's fine.
But we can certainly visit with Shelby. As y'all know, Shelby's on here. Shelby McCarty is our community engagement coordinator. She's also oversees our volunteer program. So Mary Beth, as we continue to work, you know, with our program staff and directors and with our clients and with Shelby, we'll certainly be getting more and more information out to our volunteers, because we know that you miss the people we serve just as much as they miss y'all. So as soon as it's safe and healthy for everyone to get back together, we want to do that as soon as possible too.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for all y'all are doing right now, just to run errands for them and just to provide that support and love to them. That just means so much. I know it does.
Well, it means a lot to us too. I mean, it's just Dr. Ross and I visit on the phone, and he's just amazing. And I look forward to talking to him.
Oh, that's great. Okay, well, let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen again because I just want to wrap this up. I want to remind everyone that our next Hope Begins Here tour will highlight our Bossier Lighthouse. That is just our lighthouse after school and cultural enrichment program provides so much support for kids K through 12th. So it's a really great program and to serve children and families in the Bossier Housing Authority complex. And it's right across it's right across the Shreveport, right across the river. So Sean Reynolds is our coordinator over there. And so I know that you'll really enjoy just getting to virtually walk through that wonderful, wonderful location. And then I also want to remind you that we would love for everyone who has joined us this morning, we would love for you to join us on Tuesday, April 20th. We will have our annual Cherish the Children of God event, and it will be live on Zoom this year. So it will be just 30 minutes on April 20th. That's a Tuesday morning coming up, and we'd love for you to be our guest. And you can do that by visiting the website that you see here. It's www.voanorthla.org/be-our-guest. And if you have any questions or if you'd like to learn more about our Cherish the Children of God event, feel free to reach out directly to me. I'd love to talk to you more about it. Or if I send an email after this thanking you for joining us, feel free just to reply back or give me a call. I'd love to talk to y'all. So thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we hope you really enjoyed virtually walking through South Pointe Place with us and learning more about the wonderful work that's being done for seniors in our community. And thank you, Miss Dion, for joining us and sharing your story as a resident there. We really appreciate it.
It was my pleasure.
All right. Well, have a good day, everyone. And again, happy St. Patrick's Day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.